Good morning, everyone. We are so quiet this morning. Is it because of the weather? I think so. But good morning. We're so happy to have you here today. And good morning to all of you Zoomies out there too, Zoomies and Roomies. This was something that was attached to us as our identification per Connie, and I love it. Roomies and Zoomies. So here we are. Thank you for joining us today at Unity Spiritual Center of the Rockies. I'd like to open our time together by sharing our mission statement. Could you put that on the screen or in the chat room? If not, why don't you? Thank you. That's great. All right. We are an inclusive spiritual community where we recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and all creation. Now let's join together to sing our opening song, Sanctuary.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you, a sanctuary for you.
Thank you, Ruby. Beautiful. My name is Marlene Milner, and I am an advocate of everything we do. So I'm here to represent you in the most positive light, the most hopeful way of being, and with joy in my heart. And I'm hoping that every one of you can feel that way and do feel that way as we continue our journey into the unknown, knowing that we don't know where we're going to be. But the most important thing is that we're open to whatever's possible. And I know that that is a genuine feeling that we all know that anything is possible and there's unlimited possibility. So I'm pleased to announce our guest speaker today, Elizabeth Mora. She has been a spiritual seeker since high school, and her mission is to share positive spiritual teachings with as many people as she can. With a master's in divinity, years of theater experience, and a training background, she offers a unique blend of the human and the divine when she speaks. She also has a helping heart and offers spiritual classes, counseling, and coaching. I believe growing our inner world is what we are called to do. If religion doesn't work for you, you can still have a spiritual practice that will change your life for the better. Whatever path you take, I know we can shift our thoughts, beliefs, and actions by using the wisdom of the ages and the breakthroughs of today. That was a quote from Reverend Elizabeth. Reverend Elizabeth offers an expansive perspective on life and spirituality using Unity's positive spiritual teachings, Christianity, Eastern philosophy, humor, psychology, storytelling, and sometimes even a chainsaw. That's interesting. Okay, that's what you call cutting to the chase. Anyway, before we hear from Reverend Elizabeth, let us have Carol Crossley, if you will, there, read us or follow us. You're going to follow us. We're going to follow you in the opening prayer.
Good morning. Sorry. Okay, can you hear me? Thinking about the Zoomies. All right, here we go. As we center into prayer, let us open our hearts and minds to one another, breathing in the light and love of the divine, and breathing out anything that does not serve us, releasing all negative energy or unwanted thoughts. Remember, this is a new day filled with love and blessings. It is also a special day today. It is the Patriot Day, a day of remembrance of 9/11. This is the 21st anniversary. So, most amazing Spirit, we immerse ourselves in your light within us as we prepare for today's message. What's next? What's now? What is happening in our life right here and now? Let us open our minds to the wisdom from Reverend Elizabeth Mora and the understanding of this message before us. Let us behold the stillness to receive your divine guidance and wisdom. And with this we say, Amen, Amen, Amen.
Good morning. Well, when I chose this one, it was beautiful this week, and it was sunshine and blue skies and clouds. It was wonderful. So maybe as I'm singing this song, we can all kind of invite that to come back for some nice weather. But here we go. It's been a long, dark night. I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight. I've been looking for the sunshine. You know I ain't seen it in so long. But everything's gonna work out just fine. Everything's gonna be alright. That's been all wrong. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's been a long, long time since I've known the taste of freedom. And those that I've known the taste of that freedom those clinging vines that had me bound. Well, I don't need 'em. And I've been like a captured eagle. You know, an eagle is born to fly. Now that I've won my freedom, like an eagle, I'm eager for the sky. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. And everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Oh, and everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay.
A ballerina, an accountant, a famous Broadway star. What do all of these things have in common? No, this is not the beginning of a barroom joke about who just walked into a bar. No. These are all things that I wanted to be when I grow up. I bet that you had a list like that. You can probably name them right now. Think in your mind, what is it that you wanted to grow up to be? And did it happen? Some of you, it probably happened. I find that people that dreamt of being a teacher very often become teachers. People that dreamt of being Broadway stars, not so much success. But we all had these ideas when we were little, and even when we're big, about what's coming up. It's just natural for us humans to be able to plan into the future, unlike any other animal. We are unique. What's next? What's next? What am I heading for? Yet in the same moment that you ask yourself at any time, what's next? What's coming? We would do well to ask ourselves another question at the same time. It's like two sides of the same coin. On one side, we ask ourselves, what's next? And on the other side, we can ask ourselves, what's now? They both have a place in our life, yet balancing them is sometimes challenging. If we go too far onto one side, then we ignore the other. But how do we manage it, especially as spiritual people? Where do goals fall for us? You know, we talk often about being in the now, us good, spiritual, unity, new thought people. We know to be present in the now, yet you're all sitting here and you've got a computer in front of you or a car that got you here. There was some planning that took place in your life. You haven't lived totally in the now in every single moment. Today, we're going to look at how do we balance this coin? How do we flip it? When do we flip it? What's next and what's now? Now, which one should we look at first? Well, let's flip a coin. Next or now? Okay, we're going to start by looking at what's next. Now, I bet that you caught my trick there, that no matter what coin came up, whichever side came up, I was going to start there because that's how I wrote my talk and that's how it is on the paper. But we're going to pretend that I just flipped the coin and left it to chance. What's next? If you're a visionary person, this may be a question that you live in a lot. It's a little bit about goals and planning into the future. I mean, goals have their place in life. You know, there's this famous study and others like it, but there was one back in 2007 that came up with a statistic that's quoted quite often, that people who write down their goals and share them with somebody else were 33% more likely to accomplish their goals. And so that seemed like a really important statistic to me. Like, okay, that's the answer to how you get to be on Broadway, is I write it down and I tell someone. Except the funny thing is, I told everybody in high school that's what I was going to do, and it still didn't happen. So, I'm thinking when I read statistics like that, there must be a little bit more to it than just that. Maybe it depends on the kind of goal. Maybe it depends on your circumstances and where you are. Because sometimes we've been taught, and sometimes even in unity, that we can do anything and everything. And I posit to you that that may not exactly be a helpful, healthy teaching for all of us. Maybe for some of us, this is great and this is perfect and this works for you, but we are not a monolith, even in unity. Positive thinkers are not just a monolith. We're on a spectrum. And I've tried it all. I've gone full bore law of attraction in my life. I am responsible for everything that I create. I am going to absolutely be in command of everything, right? The car accident was my fault, et cetera, et cetera. And I've looked at a very Calvinist point of view. Nope, nothing am I really in charge of here. Let's just see what comes. I'm going to just live in the flow. And like the good Buddhist that I am, I end up somewhere with the middle path. I believe, heresy sometimes in the circles I go in, but that, yes, there are some things that I influence, perhaps control. Of course, my consciousness, my attitude, my response. But in the outer world where things are manifesting, I like to use the quote from Reverend Paul Hasselbeck. We like to say, thoughts held in mind, repeat after me, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. That's a really common phrase we use. And Paul's changed it. Thoughts held in mind with emotions for a very, very long time, maybe sometimes produce after their kind. I find that incredibly freeing, because otherwise sometimes I feel like I'm failing. Maybe you do too. I'm failing at this unity thing. Why are my affirmations not working? Maybe because there's a little more to it. It's not Newton's law, but quantum law, that there are a lot of hidden things going on, especially in our subconscious mind, that go into whether our goals work beyond just writing them down and sharing with somebody. And like many of you, not all of you, but many of you coming along in life for a few years here now, I've realized that, well, you know, how important are some of these goals? You know, we can become anxious and worried and driven about what comes next, what comes next. And even in our denomination, we find that, well, if we just say the affirmations right, if we just get in the right frame of consciousness and have the right group of people around us. But if it doesn't always work, then how do we find some compassion and some understanding on how is life working? That's really my big question in life, is how do you work this thing called life, which should be natural, yet it always isn't. So how is it working, and how do I work with it? And really, I like to ask this question all the time. What's working? What works? What doesn't? Super practical, right? The scientist businessman in Charles would be proud. Like, is it working? Well, then let's continue on, but let's look and let's question. So I'm looking and I'm questioning, and I love to open up to other writers and other readers and other teachers. So get ready, folks. This is what you came for today. I'm going to introduce you to someone, a new entry into my pantheon of gurus. And his name is Oliver Burkeman. And I can see on the screen here, anybody, let me put my glasses on. So even the little picture on my screen of people in the audience. Okay. Has anyone heard of the author Oliver Burkeman? If you have, raise your hand. Wow, really like wave. Okay, nobody. Yay! I have something new for you. Great. You can't get it anywhere else but the Unity of the Rockies on this Sunday morning. Here it is. I'm going to show you the cover. This is Oliver Burkeman, and the title of the book is 4,000 Weeks. This is Oliver Burkeman. I don't know why I'm showing you that, but I'm showing you that. He looks like a very nice fellow. So he's done a lot of writing, and I haven't showed you what the subtitle of the book is because it scares people off. But the subtitle is Time Management for Mortals. So stop rolling your eyes. Okay, this is not a time management book. This is a philosophy book. This is where I believe Oliver Burkeman is a philosopher, and someone that we can really learn from, who is funny and sees the world in such a great way that he opened up my eyes and brought a lot of depth to some Unity teachings in a different way. So my big push right now, Amazon loves me right now, is read 4,000 Weeks. This book is right up there for me with How to Discover the Power Within You, How the Power of Now, Byron Katie, Loving What Is, right? Those kinds of books put me on a desert island. I'm bringing this book. I've already read it 4 times. So, well, there's my plug. I think I've made that pretty obvious and slightly obnoxious. So he makes a compelling case that knowing and embracing our limits and how reality is actually working is a happier, healthier way to live. It's kind of Buddhist, although I don't think that he would claim that. So let me read to you what he says. A little bit from Oliver Burkeman. And my gosh, I could read you this whole book that's highlighted basically. So he mentions the writer of the book of Ecclesiastes, which is my favorite book in the Bible. And the writer of Ecclesiastes says, I have considered all that my hands have done and the toil I had spent doing it. And behold, it was all vanity and a striving after wind. And there was nothing to be gained under the sun. There's nothing to be gained. We have everything that we need right here. Striving isn't really needed. And so Oliver says, it's deeply unsettling to find yourself doubting the point of what you're doing with your life. I mean, we're all running around at times. What am I doing? Why am I here? Am I making a difference? Am I making an impact? Am I supposed to? Am I required to do something big? And so what happens is that we find that we need to face the reality that you can't depend on fulfillment arriving at some distant point in the future. You can't live in the future. What would it mean to spend the only time you ever get in a way that feels truly as though you are making it count? That's what we're talking about here, making your life count for you. Instead of letting it happen to you, understanding what's happened, not necessarily making or forcing something amazing, but instead to say, how many weeks do you have in a lifetime? No spoiler here, about 4,000, most of us. Maybe you've got 5, maybe you've got 6, maybe you're halfway through the path like me and you've got about 2,000 weeks left. It's helpful in many traditions to look at, what do I have here? What am I working with? How does it work? So instead of focusing on where do I get and what's next and how do I make that work and becoming obsessed with that, that's when we can flip the coin, especially when that becomes painful or stressful, like it does for me when I'm trying to figure out what career to do next or what next project. That can be stressful. And then I flip the coin and I remember there's nothing to strive for here. This perfect moment provides all that I need. It's a beautiful, relaxing notion. And whatever it is that we're striving for, it doesn't happen in the future, it happens now. So, going to be a famous ballerina. It's not happening now. So do I postpone my happiness until that happens? Well, when I get there, I'll be happy. And I know we all know that's not a good way to live. But this book opened up to me how subtle it is. Like I wake up in the morning and I think of the projects that I have to do. At some level, that's okay. And on another level, there is this thought. I need to get that done to have had a good day, to have been a good person. What's next? What can I do to sort of earn my keep? Ecclesiastes, there was nothing to strive for. It was for naught. How am I living in this moment? What am I doing with this moment? And how often can I check in with that inner guidance versus the head, which has its part, but the mind that has been programmed in many ways that I'm not enough right here. I need to prove myself. I need to add on. And subtly we do this for days, for weeks, and sometimes for a lifetime. Well, when I finally get through college and get that right job, then I'm going to feel settled. Now, when my retirement is funded, no, then I'll feel settled. No, when I finally retire and start taking, when Social Security said, how many whens in the future? It's called the when I finallys. Yeah, it's a disease. I think they're going to put it in the next DSM, right? The when I finallys. When I finally get, do, see, have, then I can relax. Then I'll be happy, some version of that. So on this side of the coin, we keep coming back to the now. Let's take another little peek at my buddy, Oliver Berkman. So he says, so many of us have been taught to live to a standard of meaningfulness to which virtually nobody could ever measure up. You've got to have the degree, the right amount of money saved, to look good, whatever it is that our society, our parents, our inner dialogue says. And yet it is implausible for almost all people to demand of themselves that they be like Michelangelo, a Mozart, an Einstein. There have only been a few dozen such people in the entire history of humanity. In other words, you are almost certainly not going to put a dent in the universe. I think that's so great and so funny. The pressure's off, folks. Think of the 6 billion people on this planet right now. How many of them can you name? Oh, well, they made a difference. Well, yes, there are wonderful people that make a difference, but when we set them up as the example, it's the fallacy of being extraordinary. Because really the extraordinary is right here in living a good life, being kind, doing the things that we teach here. And if you happen to catch a wave, get a spark, and you become one of those Michelangelos in the world, good for you. Go with it. But most likely, that's going to come upon you because you will have done some work and be where you need. There's a magic spark that happens out there. And then how about the magic spark that happens in here when you're living the life that is meaningful to you? He says, no wonder it comes as a relief to be reminded of your insignificance. It's the feeling of realizing that you've been holding yourself all this time to standards you couldn't possibly be expected to meet. Virtually any career will be fine for you. There has been a set of standards set up that are impossible to reach. And instead, we're called to live right here, fully in the now. That's the title of my favorite chapter in the book, Cosmic Insignificance Therapy. When you realize, like one of those big pictures of the universe that has the little teeny dot in the line that says, you are here, and you realize how insignificant you are over time, in space. I'm this tiny little dot. Let me revel in that dot. Let me be the best little dot that I can be to bring happiness, to move the world forward in tiny bits where I can. I know it's a little bit of an anti-unity message because, I really wanted to make a huge difference in the world. I wanted to be the next, whatever, Tony Robbins, Marianne Williamson, whatever. It didn't happen. And so finding a way that actually that's okay, because trying to be someone else was leading to a lot of pain. So the answer to all of this, besides Oliver's book, comes on the third side of our coin. This three-sided coin has an edge. And the edge can be whatever you want to call it, your Christ self, reality, the great I am, the true self of you. Whatever's coming, whatever is now, underneath all of it is the core of you, the God of you, the divine of you. And Myrtle Fillmore said that our purpose here is to express the creation of God in the world, to express, to be. We're here to be. What a relief. So you can go within, connecting with your deep, authentic self. What's mine to do here? If it's really true that I'm not responsible for the whole universe, I'm just responsible for here. Let me do here, now, me, really well. Think of that, all the people striving to be something else, to be better. God, if you were enough, if every person knew I'm enough right here, I am that I am, and living into that is the best thing I can do. And as we each do that, we start to see the structures that we have change bit by little bit to be you. So next time you hold a coin, if anybody holds coins anymore, next time you contemplate a coin, take a moment to stop to think, where am I living? Am I out in front in the future right now? Or am I present in the now? And most importantly, am I living on my edge? Am I in touch with me and what's next and what's now? Because then whatever side comes up, you win every time. Bless you. Bless you.
Wow, that was amazing. And I wanted to invite you all to actually sing a little bit of a mantra with me. Right now. It's just right now. And on Zoom, that's you too. Right now. Right now. Or down here. Right now. Right now. Right now. So you'll hear that. And I'll sing it in the song too. And then when you hear that, I invite you to sing it with me. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child. child, things will get brighter. Someday we'll get it together and we'll get it undone. Someday when the world is much brighter. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. You're gonna wait and see. Things are gonna be. You're gonna wait and see. Things are gonna get easier. You're gonna wait and see. Things are gonna be. Ooh, right now. Right now. Right now.
Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth, for that incredible message. Developing unconditional self-love. So important. It's the basis for everything. And it's not just I'm going to the spa tomorrow to be good, to have a good time, but it's I have to live up to who I am. I have to face myself in a mirror and be rigorously honest. Even if there are things that I'm doing or have done that are less than loving, I need to admit that and go forward in a lovely, lovely, loving way to make it okay. Being able to come from love, and it starts with self-love. We are the catalyst. So I love the message. Thank you so much, Reverend Elizabeth and Ruby, for the beautiful song. It's lovely, honey. Good morning again. I want to ask if we could put our giving information on the screen, that would be lovely. We have ways of giving to Unity, and when we do that, we are supporting Unity nationwide, or worldwide for that matter. As we enter this sacred time of giving, I invite you to hold your offering to your heart and fill it with love and light, knowing that it will come back to you multiplied in abundance. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I'd like to point out in the back, we've got a lovely love offering box that was made by one of our congregants, Jeff Cahill. who's trying to hide, but I wanted to bring his name up because he's here today. And also we have envelopes in the back of the chairs. We can also give through our website. So we appreciate your giving. Thank you so very much. Is there anyone here for the first time, second time, or third time? Second time. And do you want to share your name? Welcome, Sean. We're happy to have you. Anyone else? If you are here for the first, second, or third time and have not signed up for our newsletter, I'm going to invite you to do that, because all of what we do here is always in the weekly newsletter. And that's the best way to, I mean, I just copy it and hang it on the wall, and then I know what's happening. So that way we're always informed. Okay. Talk about Broadway. We are in the midst of creating our 100th anniversary celebration. And it's going to be all about fun. And it's going to be all about history. It's going to be all about connection. This week is going to be October 22nd and 23rd. And there will be a magical mystical fair, speakers and vendors, and an ice cream truck, a barbecue food truck, book sales, also peace pole and tree ceremony. These are some of the things that we are wanting to put together as a congregation, as a community, to really shine at our 100th year. That evening of Saturday, I'm imagining, is our celebration gala. We will have special music and presentations and special speakers and catered hors d'oeuvres. See, if nothing else, it's the food that always brings people in. So I must mention that every time we're going to offer it. Following the service, there will be more celebration in the fellowship hall, and more catered goodies and special people or special speakers. You see how important that is. We all know that here. So mark your calendars and read your e-blast, because the details are forever evolving. And really the details and what we end up doing is going to be a lot dependent on how many of you are inspired to help us with your sacred service, making this happen, because it just can't happen by, Tinkerbell and her wand. It really takes people to make it happen. So I'm hoping that we can get you excited enough that at least you're curious to put your name on a committee. And we do have sign-up sheets in the hallway. We've got a lovely sign-up board that you can write your name under any committee you might be interested in. So we look forward to that. And it's also a wonderful way to get to know one another. So I want to just say that. With the celebration comes a lot of appreciation for the people that have helped us with our sacred service, who help run the show. I'd like to recognize these folks here today on Zoom who give their love and time and energy to our many services, including the history team, fellowship team, gardening, groundkeeping, flowers. If you're a part of any of these committees, stand up. I want to see how many of you are here today. The Sacred Women's Circle, the Men's Circle, Bingo, people that are involved with all of that. See how wonderful it is? I love it. On behalf of everyone here at Unity in the Rockies, with grateful hearts, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And absolutely. We can't make things happen without people. There is going to be a prosperity class. That'll be good. Next Saturday, September 17th, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, here at Unity. led by Elizabeth Longo. She will be with us in person, so that will be lovely. Step into a prosperity consciousness by learning abundance principles and how to apply them in your life. We are swimming in an ocean of infinite abundance, ready to be brought forth into manifestation. Discover the blocks to prosperity and how to release them while catching the greatest vision of your life. Sounds good to me. I'd like to call on Linda Anthony, who would like to make an announcement. Linda's on Zoom, by the way. Go ahead, Linda.
Here I am. Okay, I am a licensed Unity teacher, for those of you who may not be aware of that. And I would like to tell you a little bit about the Unity Basics class. The class began as an opportunity for new Unity students to get their spiritual feet wet. And you can also refresh your understanding of the Unity teachings. This 4-week class covers the founding of the Unity movement, affirmations and denials, and much more. And it was originally scheduled to start today, but we have postponed it until September 25th because next Sunday we have our town hall meeting. And this is very important, and I want to make sure all of you will be attending that. So we're going to start September 25th and run through October 16th. There's a sign-up sheet in the hallway. You can contact Kayla in the office or contact me to register, or if you have questions. And we do need at least 5 students to sign up in order for the class to be offered. So I look forward to seeing you in class and seeing you at the town hall meeting next week. See you then.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much. And I want to remind you all that we do have fellowship after service today. That means coffee, tea, snacks, food. Food's important. So we always have a lovely invitation for all of you to join us for breaking of bread, if you will, after service. Does your last name begin with L, M, N, or O, or P? If it does, we invite you to share goodies for us in fellowship next week. In other words, it'll be your turn to bring some goodies if you so desire. Yes, sorry. Go ahead, Donna. Oh. Okay. Okay. So not next week, but if your last name ends in L, M, N, O, or P, it's not next week, the 17th, it's the following week, the 24th, right? Sure. Okay. Thank you. We are entering the final stretch in hiring our new minister for our center. This lovely affirmation that we recite together every Sunday is really working and has been working. So I'd love to have us all join in our affirmation for our minister. With gratitude for the past, we align vibrationally to demonstrate and attract the highest level of leadership in accordance with cosmic law for Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. Indeed. And Carol, will you please lead us in the closing prayer?
As we close with prayer, let us be mindful of today's lesson, living in the now. Let's breathe in divine peace and love. And breathing out, releasing all beliefs and habits that no longer serve us as we center into our heart space with divine alignment and love, knowing all there is love. And today, we choose love. And today is the day we pray for all those who were affected by September 11th. We revere the inscription on the memorial. No day shall erase you from the memory of time. We honor the victims of the September 11th and their loved ones, and we will radiate divine light and peace out into the world. Now let us also remember the dear ones we hold close to us in our thoughts and prayers. Say their names aloud, and if you'd like, I behold the Christ in you. Envision your loved ones wrapped in the arms of love, fulfilled with health, joy, peace, and whatever else they may need at this time. We see them blessed, healed, and prospered in all ways. Each of us prays to be the person who makes a difference to help heal this world, and especially on this day of remembrance. We give thanks for our unity in the Rockies Spiritual Center community, and we are grateful for all the unknown blessings that are already on our way to us from the divine. And as we go forth this day and into this week, we say, I bless you as I am blessed. And I give thanks for this very day. And so it is. Amen. 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 Oh, I will be in the sanctuary for prayers afterwards.
Okay, and I invite you to join in a circle and we'll join hands for our closing song, One Light. If you're on Zoom, you'll be singing this with us. Let the light within you shine. We are all connected. Look into another's eyes. See your light reflected. We are one light, shining souls in harmony. We are one light, shining in unity. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And if you'd like to stay for fellowship on Zoom, you can just stay online. And if you want to join us here in the sanctuary and you're here, come to the platform to join. And you're welcome to join us in the fellowship hall. Have a blessed week.